Are you a dependent of health and social care visa holder? Are you afraid that you might be asked to leave the United Kingdom, or even that you might not be able to renew your visa after the end of your current visa? I'm sure you've read about the changes to the immigration rules and you are worried what's going on. You've read a lot about what changes are obtainable, and you're probably thinking, how do we get about this? What's going to happen? How do I change my visa? Or would I have any option? What if we have families after this? What's going to happen to them? A lot of questions that you're looking for answers for. Guess what? You don't have to look any further, because this video is for you. Or if you know someone who's got the same question and they're wondering, what are we going to do when this is over? Tell them we made this video, refer this video to them, let them watch. My name is Ademola. If you're just joining us for the first time, and together with my team, we're going to be navigating all these questions, providing answers that will suit you to your belly. So I'm sure you're wondering, what is the health and care visa? It was late summer 2020. COVID was ravaging the pulse of the nation. We had shortage personnel in the health sector. The government felt we needed to do something. And then, bingo, we got the health and care visa scheme. I'm sure you're wondering, what is this? What's the scheme about? The scheme was there just to promote the migration and the employment of foreign qualified doctors, nurses, and allied health professionals. By allied health professionals, I mean pharmacists, I mean carers, senior carers, manager, who are carers or who are manager in health facilities, and all of those. Yeah, so there were 39 of them, job classification under the scheme. And like I said, senior carers, and registered doctors and nurses are part of the 39. I'm sure there is that myth out there that when you mention health and care visa, people just generally assume we're talking about care visa. You can call it care visa, but care visa is just one out of the 39 visas that you could apply for under the scheme. So having said that, you're wondering, what are the benefits? Why do we have the scheme other than the fact that there was shortage? What is the benefit ascribed to this scheme? First, I have to tell you, the first thing you need to note is the standard visa application fee will cost you between $719 to £1,420. That's a lot of money. But under the scheme, you only have to pay about $284 to $551, depending on the years of sponsorship you're being offered. The other thing is immigration skill charge in the UK, which is your contribution towards that very formidable NHS, would have cost you $1,035 annually if you were applying under the standard skilled visa. But if it's under the scheme, one of the benefits ascribed to it is the fact that you don't have to do anything. I'm sure you're wondering, what exactly is this update, with the health and care visa in the spring? The updates are numerous. I've already mentioned quite a few of them. I'm not going to bore you, by going over them again, but I'll tell you the ones I haven't mentioned already. Number one on the list is dependent. As a matter of fact, that's where the noise started from. We've received a lot of questions about what are the fates of dependents, with these changes. So if you're a dependent out there, you're already in the UK, you are saved. There's absolutely nothing to worry about, because you're already on an existing health care visa here in the UK, and all you have to do is to extend on the same type of visa. Mind you, the job classification code will change, but it doesn't change anything. So if it's still the same kind of work, then you can then get on that visa as a dependent. But where we've got problem is with respect to senior carers and carers. There is a total ban for them. Anybody applying after 11th of March 2024 cannot bring their dependent into the UK. It's sad, isn't it? They're coming to take care of your family, but they can't even take care of their family. Anyway, it's not the end of the world, because the the other 37. Remember I said we got 39 job classification under the scheme. So if you're a medical doctor, a registered nurse, a pharmacist, and the others, you can still bring your family members even after this time. It doesn't apply to you. But you must feel sad, for the people affected, the carers, the senior carers affected by this. I do understand why the government has imposed this ban, but I reckon it's not going to last. I reckon there will be challenges in court. There are human rights angles to it. I, as a lawyer, I'm already thinking, what can be done? Is this something we can challenge in court? Can we do a judicial review of it? Do you think it's fair? Because I don't see the moral sense of someone coming in here to take care of my family, and I'm denying them access, to their family. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. That's something we're going to address in a separate video. But again, that's the number one update as far as this is concerned. Dependent of senior carers and carers are not allowed to come into the UK. So what's the other update? You remember I have used words like shortage occupation, chronic shortage, and things like that. Before now, we had what we call the shortage occupation list, and there are jobs listed on that list. But guess what? Since 11th of March 2024, we don't have it anymore. So it's been replaced with something else. Now we have what we call the immigration salary list. They've got about 23 jobs on it, and yours truly, senior carers and carers, are on it. So there are disadvantages of applying under this visa scheme, and there are also advantages. One of the advantages is that if you're on this list, this immigration salary list, you could earn as low as 23,200 and be sponsored. Remember, there has been an increase in the amount of money your sponsor has to offer you for you to be able to get that sponsorship and also be able to get a visa. For every other visa on the general salary list, which is it starts from 29,000, so that's a bit difficult for most people to be able to get sponsors that will pay them that much money. But you have nothing to worry about if you're a senior carer or you're a carer. Once your company offers as much as 23,200, you're good to go. Your sponsorship is valid, and you could then make valid application on that basis. So that's good news. We had bad news with the dependent, but there is good news. So there isn't. It's not that bad update. And then the other thing is, if you are being sponsored by a care home in England, note this. I said England. Then your care home must be approved by the Care Quality Commission. They call it the CQC. The Care Quality Commission is the body that regulates activities of care home. If you have applied for a visa and you notice that your sponsorship, that's your COS, is issued by a company that is not approved or not on the list, of people regulated or companies regulated by the Care Quality Commission, you might want to go back to them. And these changes only apply from sponsorship issued after 11th of March 2024. But if you had been here before then, you've applied for visa on the basis of the old regime, you can continue. It doesn't affect you. You can just keep doing what you're doing. But if you're going to apply for a new visa after the expiry of that, you must make sure that things are done properly. Make sure there is a proper approval for your company, so you don't fall short of the rules as far as that's concerned. So that basically is the update we've got for you. But this is not the end of it. We've got a lot of questions. We've been inundated with a lot of questions since these changes happened. We can't take all of them, but we've got a few reaching down here, and I'm going to run through them just very quickly so you understand where we are. So the first thing is, since 11th of March, what are the eligibility requirements for an health and care visa? I'll tell you what, nothing has changed. Not really, nothing has really changed. You remember before now, you must make sure you meet the required skill, which is that if you're a doctor, you must have a doctor qualification. It's as simple as that. If you're a nurse, you must have a nurse qualification. And if you're a carer, you must have the required qualification, So once you have that, that's one tick. The other tick is you must have the required level of English language. I think now they say it's B1 CEFR, whatever that means. You can look it up. So that's what you must have. If you have that, you are judged to have met, the standard, which is okay. And the other thing is, if you're coming from certain countries like Nigeria, India, Pakistan, or some countries in South America, you'll be required to provide your criminal record. And the way to do that is to attend the police station or the criminal registry in your country. They'll issue a certificate to confirm that for the past 1 year you've not had any conviction or arrest or anything like that. So those three things, we had them in the old regime and we still have them, which is why I started this video by saying nothing has really changed. So if you have those, you're still good. And again, you cannot apply except you've reached the age of 18 years. We have the same thing under the old rule. The only thing that has been added is for applicants in England, you must make sure that your company sponsoring you is approved by the CQC. In case you've forgotten, CQC is Care Quality Commission. That's the only addition. So those are the eligibility requirements for getting a health and care visa now. So the other question is, will a carer or a senior carer sponsored after 11th of March who earns 38,700 be able to sponsor dependent? I wish I could say yes, but fortunately no. I know you this is discriminatory, it shouldn't happen. Like I said, this will probably be a topic for another video. We should look at it together. If you're interested in the legal digest of it, we can digest it, break it down, tell you how unfair it is and how we can challenge it, or we feel we can challenge it in court if we have to. So that's as far as that's concerned. But unfortunately, the answer is no. Even if you earn £100,000, you cannot bring independent if you go your sponsorship after 11th of March 2024. I hope that's clear. The other question is, can dependent children of a carer or a senior carer or dependent spouse of a carer or senior carer sponsored after 11th of March 2024 be granted leave to remain? If I understand the question very clearly, what you're simply saying is that if I get my sponsorship, for instance, under the new regime, and I happen to get married to someone already here in the UK, or we have children together with those two persons who are now my dependent, would they be entitled to get a visa on the basis of my visa? Absolutely no, they won't. I wish I could tell you yes. Again, that's quite unfair because these people are already in the UK, and even the Home Office rules, forbid you separating families. And then we have human rights, the right to family life, that also negates this position. But unfortunately, that's the rule we have. People have not tested it yet. I know there are a few cases in court at the moment, but they are still in the gestation period. They're still, we've not really got anything that is fundamental from the judiciary as far as this is concerned. But I reckon there are rooms for challenges. I, for one, I'll be happy to take on any case, that forbids a child giving birth to in the UK after 11th of March from having the same visa as the mom. It's totally reprehensible. I'm short of words for it. But again, this video is not to shoot down the government, for the policies they've made. It's just to enlighten you on what changes, that we have at the moment. The other question is, what is the minimum salary a carer or a senior carer can earn in the UK? Like we said, the minimum salary you can earn is 23,200. Yes, that's the minimum. That's annually, and if you earn hourly, you will earn as much as £11.90. That's the minimum you can earn in the UK. The last question I think I can see here is, does the new rule affect existing health and care visa holder, and if so, how? It affects everybody one way or the other. I think this question can be answered by everything we've talked about today. If you are a medical doctor, even though you're not worried that you can't bring your dependent or anything like that, you still have to be wary of the new salary scale for you. Your salary is not what it used to be again, so you must make sure wherever you work, you earn as much as Home Office expects you to earn for you to get a valid sponsorship, and then for you to be able to put in a valid visa application. And with respect to senior carers and carers, of course, this entire update is about them. It affects them greatly, again, in a very discriminatory way, because they can't even bring in their dependent, and it doesn't matter how much money they earn. And the sad thing is, even for dependent they have here in the UK, after that date, cannot even get on their visa. Again, I mean, you can see why I'm a bit repulsed by this. It's just preposterous. I can't believe we made that kind of law, but fortunately, we're where we are. And that's the purpose of the judiciary, to challenge laws that we feel have infringed on our right, as humans. So I'm sure these are things people will take on as time goes on, and we will be at the forefront of it too. We've already had clients that have made complaint to us on these issues, and then they would like to test the law, and we'll be very happy to test the law. And I think to a large extent, because we're still part of the European Convention on Human Rights and right to family life, that's Article 8, is a very big deal as far as these rules are concerned. So that's something we could challenge. I also reckon Home Office might have to make changes anyway, because there will be a lot of these challenges. People already in the UK, they've got children after you're saying the children can have the same visa as the mom. That's totally preposterous. I'm sorry I have to end on that note, but yeah, preposterous. I feel for the senior carers, the carers, I totally feel for them. Well, again, it's not the end of the road. There are things that can be done. Even if Home Office said, no, we don't think we can enjoy your human rights. Yeah, there are other things you could do. I believe children or people like that, or their dependent spouse who are already in the UK, can apply for visa on the basis of human rights, and Home Office will be obliged to grant those visas application. Yeah, that's my honest belief. As a solicitor, I feel it's doable. But again, maybe I'm being too optimistic. We have to look at every case on its own head and see how it goes. But until next time, I want to say thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure talking to you. We have other videos. You could also take your time, look through all of them if anything interests you. And if you got a question, I haven't seen this very video or other videos, just email us. We've got our details on the description. And bear in mind also, we have free legal advice that we do offer. I think it's about 10 minutes. I will give this to people literally every week. You don't have to give comment or comment about your personal circumstances in the comment section. You can send us an email for that, and then we'll take it on, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So from myself and my team, I want to say thank you. God bless you. Speak soon.